Lansing, Michigan. This is the Outside Gate with Steve Hall on the L4 Media Network, where we talk US moto and anywhere the conversation goes. Today from Partzilla, PRMX Kawasaki. Mitchell Harrison, how are you?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. We were just talking about how you live in Utah nowadays. So with the last round worked out pretty good for you to get back to your missus and enjoy some family time.
Yeah, it's very fortunate that the last round is now in Salt Lake. But it's also very fortunate that my wife Madison just moved out here like a year ago, and I get to spend some time here, go in the mountains, and really enjoy life out here. I mean, it's a perfect destination for me. Well, except in the winter when I have to be somewhere else to ride a dirt bike.
Yeah, cool, man. And originally from Michigan, yeah? Did I get that right? That's what the vault said, Lansing, Michigan.
Yep, that's correct. I was born in Lansing. I was kind of raised in Brighton, Michigan. So I mean, it's whatever, 20 minutes away.
Just up the road, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I claim I'm from Michigan, so it's important for the Redbud round and Detroit.
Yeah, man. There's a pretty good storied history of riders from Michigan. That's for sure.
Yeah,
the old Michigan Mafia. I guess you're a extension of that, huh?
yeah. I'm a little bit in the Michigan Mafia. I think it's more of a tight knit group, but I mean, heck, I claim it. I love being a part of the Michigan Mafia. I love being a part of the D14, District 14. And I just love all the tracks in Michigan. I miss it. I'd like to go back and especially go back to Baja and ride that because that was my home track.
Yeah. Cool, man. Cool. Hey, dude. We'll get into a bit of your junior days in Michigan soon, but I thought we better get straight into that LCQ, man. I got to hear about that LCQ, man. That was warp speed through the whoops, man. That was incredible. I watched it again last night. Yeah. It's just, oh man, it's just a shame. It's a shame it didn't work out, man. But geez, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I should have been hitting him like that all day. It was amazing how easy it was to do that. I have great whoop speed in practice, and then I don't know about something about those whoops all day were kind of messing with me. And then I finally just like in the LCQ, I was like starting to roll, and then obviously last lap it was like, well, I know I can pass him here, so let's just send it. And I had it under control. It's fine. I think when I exited a little too early, thinking that like it's the LCQ and he might T-bone me. So I was like, I gotta get ahead of this a little early, and the back end just stepped out and I went down. But
yeah.
It's still like I tried to get up and we had like a bit of a gap over Moran's, and I thought I could get back into it, but as soon as my bike turned, like I brought it up, it turned straight down into Tristan. Yep. So it was kind of over from that point.
He was sort of blocking you, and yeah, Tristan took just a little bit longer to get up, and
yep.
And Moran's man just railed the berm, and it was
yeah. Good for him. He was there. I feel bad for Tristan because he was riding great all that LCQ. I kind of I felt like I was being a little too relaxed in the beginning of it. I felt like I was in a good position. I could have made passes sooner, but I tried to make it more fun for the fans.
You certainly did, man. The LCQs were good, like because also Max Miller did the same thing basically, but he stayed up. Yeah, so that was there was a couple of real nice runs through the whoops in those LCQs in the last laps there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Did you see? Marshall's foot peg fell off.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? Yeah. That was interesting.
And he made a run through. He still got through the whoops with a foot peg off. He was sort of like, I don't know how he was doing it, but he was just gripping something just slightly. Must have been. He was probably just gripping just maybe the foot peg mount or something like that, just at the edge of his boot.
Something. I can't believe it stayed on, and then I still can't believe he jumped the finish line after that. So good on you, Marshall.
Yeah, crazy, man. And then the week before, man, Denver, the LCQ, Steve's LCQ race, man. That was pretty good for you. How much money did you get from that?
I ended up getting just shy, like maybe like $50 shy of 19 grand. So
Nice.
that was awesome.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I kind of blew it. Well, I won the first race.
Yeah, easily. You killed him in the first race. Yeah.
Yeah. Who was it that was it Tristan that crashed, or was it somebody else? Or Schlosser?
Hunter. Yeah. Hunter Schlosser crashed right off the start, and he tangled with A-Rod, I think, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I look. Well, you go back across the start straight a couple times, and I noticed I had a huge gap already. So I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I put down 2 fast laps, and then I kind of cruised from there. But they made it really interesting doing that inverted start. And I had that locked. I got past Hill really fast, and I wanted to get past Hand really fast. And I knew once I did that, I kind of would have been clear sailing. But as I went to go past Hand, I got a little anxious and got into like the really slick inside stuff, and just washed the front. I was actually surprised that I got second overall. When I finished, I was like, okay, whatever. We're gonna be like 5th or 6th, but yeah, I mean, I was pumped on it.
Yeah, it was like the format was kind of exciting because you couldn't there's no way unless you were a maths geek that you could calculate that what was going on. You just had to trust, but they had like it kept updating who was going to win. And you couldn't really understand it, but you just saw names just keep popping up and creeping up, and your name was about 5th until like the very end, and then you like jumped to 2nd. So
yeah, I think I made 3 passes in the last lap.
Yeah, it must have. Yeah,
definitely helped. Yeah. Like the beginning of the day, even Steve was like, "What do you think? Do you think like a 7-7 is going to win it? Like, should you start back? What should you do? Should you take the first one?" I'm like, my goal is just to win the first one, dominate that, and then from there, who cares? Like, I'm just having fun here. Like, this isn't the main day. And I honestly did not expect to like do great overall because of how chaotic it would be, but I did. So it was awesome.
That's a handy 19 grand to have, man. That's for sure, huh?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now to go lose it all in the market,
right? Is that what you're into? That are you? Like investing?
Yeah, I like investing. Not too shabby at it. I have some help from some friends, and it's just fun to do. I'd rather have it in there than it might just sit in my bank account.
Cool, man. Yeah, it's there's a lot to learn though, isn't there? Like I got all excited there a few years ago about I thought I'm gonna learn the stock market, and get into that a little bit. And I bought a book and I just started reading it, and I was just I couldn't do it. It's not for me, man. It's not for me, man.
I couldn't do it without my friend Kevin. He also owns Mind Effects. Like he helps me out a bunch with it, and like we don't do anything serious. It's just for me. It's just learning, and like it just try not to be emotional about it, because that's when you get into trouble. So really just in there learning about it. Maybe later when I'm like 40 or something, I'll actually know what's going on. But yeah, until then we're just trying to figure it out.
Yeah. I read a lot and that sort of thing, but I find like if I'm even if it's I'm just reading an autobiography or something, that I love that. But if I want to learn something, I can read about it, and if it interests me, I will soak it in like a sponge. Like I'll learn really quick.
Yeah.
But if it's a bit boring, it doesn't soak in, and that's what the stock market stuff was. It was just too dry. It wasn't exciting enough, so I would read it and then forget it, and then read it again if it was never going to soak in for me, man. So
yeah. And it's just so much information. It's just like it's hard for me. It's really hard for me.
Yeah. Cool, man. Cool. All right, we might get into your early days, man.
Perfect.
my favorite part of the show, man, is hearing about how people first got a taste for dirt bikes, man. So, and the question is always, when did the bug bite, man? When did you, that first mini bike, that first seeing a race, or tell us about that.
Yeah, my earliest memory was because we were in Michigan. We went to an indoor race, me and my dad, and like a little background on my family, like they had no clue what a dirt bike was, no clue you could make money at it. Like it was just my dad took me to this little rinky-dink indoor place, and I loved it. So he bought me a bike for so I was 6 at that time. He bought me a bike for my 7th birthday. It was a PW50. And I'd ride it all the time in the backyard. And then we eventually went back to that indoor place. I cannot for the life of me remember what it was called. I should know what it's called. We went there a lot. It's closed now, unfortunately. I think like a lot of the indoor places. But so we went back there for like a practice day, and I just sat on my dirt bike, and I would not go out. I was scared to death to go out with other people. So he rented the track, I think, a couple times for me to ride by myself. And that was kind of like the get start into it. And, you know, we still didn't know what like the AMA was. So we did it was called MRA, and it was these 2 racetracks. It was Milan and Delta. One was in Ohio and one was in Milan, Michigan. And we just raced that all year long for like 2 years, I think. And until we discovered AMA, and then we started doing AMA events.
Nice, man. Nice.
Yeah.
And then sort of moved on to getting into Lorettas and that sort of stuff.
Yep. Yeah. So Loretta's was a tough thing for me for a while. I mean, being in Michigan, you didn't really race all year round. I did arena cross quite a bit. I think that helped me a lot in Supercross. And we had these, again, those indoor tracks. But yeah, I didn't make Lorettas until I was on 85s in 2009. So it took me quite a long time to make it. And then I took 3rd my first year, which was really impressive. And then from that point, my parents were kind of like, hey, you have a little bit of talent. Like, let's try this out. And let's move down south. So we moved down south, me and my brother and my parents. And my sister stayed back. She was older. She was 18 at the time, so she wanted to stay and go to college and have a life up there still. So we moved down to GPF, and that was really where like my career in winning started, was down there riding every day. I was actually really surprised like how good I got, and it really only took like a year before I started winning a lot. And then I finally got like a factory ride, which was on the fair and PR2. So that was a huge confidence booster. And I was battling Faulkner at the time. But I was like the one winning races. And then eventually we got factory team green ride, which I thought was going to like go into like the pro circuit route. But it was kind of still Faulkner was like the star of that show. So I was kind of on the back burner, and I had to go. Luckily, I went in 1A and got a star ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of basically
so when you were
amateur
when you won the 250A, was Faulkner in the race? Was that against Faulkner at the time?
No, Faulkner. So I went super mini, and we're the same age. So when I went super mini, he stayed back, and I went to B.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I had a very successful year in B, but unfortunately I hurt my knee, and it kind of kept escalating to Loretta. So it kept popping out, which really sucked because I felt like I could have possibly gone 6-0 that year because I won the first 2 races and just was feeling great. And then my 3rd race, my knee popped out, so I had to stop that year, which yeah, it was just really disappointing. I think that could have really like put a bid for pro circuit.
Yeah.
But regardless, like I got on the star, so I was ecstatic. Like it was phenomenal team at that time. I think they were just winning championships, so either way, it worked out
So
really well.
when did you get on the star? About 15, 16?
Yeah, so I would say it was the end of 2015.
Yeah.
I got on the star, and then 2016 I turned pro.
Yeah. So Stars winning everything at that stage. Like they
Yeah,
winning everything. Yeah.
yeah. They
Like
Cooper.
Coop and J-Mart are just cleaning up indoors and out. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was really fun to be a part of. But it was already really tough because you had to win. And I wasn't winning. I didn't win one medal with them. So yeah, there was up and down days, and they were very tough on me. But I mean, that's what you kind of have to do if you want to win. You gotta step up. And, yeah, you're not gonna get too many high fives if you're not winning on a team like that.
Yeah, Bobby expects wins. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you can tell by the way he runs the team.
Yep.
Like you you're winning or you're not hanging around, basically, isn't it? Yeah,
Exactly.
You'll just keep trying someone else. So yeah,
Exactly.
Bobby definitely runs Star like a business. There's not. It's yeah, very
Yep.
much results
You
based.
I got 2 years. I didn't perform, and I was out, and it sucked. But like, I mean, I got it. I understood. Like, but then I got into a Rockstar Husky, and that was more of a. I thought that was more of a home for me, anyways.
Yeah, yeah. So you enjoyed that. So that would have been Bobby Hewitt sort of era and that sort of thing. Yeah, a bit more. Definitely Bobby Hewitt. Definitely different to Star, man. Yeah, like
yeah.
Like
Bobby
opposite.
Hewitt was a analytics guy.
Yeah.
And it was funny at one point he was like telling me these statistics about how I was gonna do, and he's like, "Oh, well, statistically, you're not gonna. You probably are gonna get a couple top tens the rest of the year or something." And I was like, "I'm gonna podium the rest of the year." Or I think it was like, "Oh no, I was gonna get top 5 the rest of the year." I told him like, "That's what's gonna happen." Next race, I podium. Next race, I got 4th, and then it was the Mutter Ironman, and that was a chaos where only like 2 people qualified out of A group, and I didn't qualify at all because I was out of top 10 in points. So that was a mess as it was, but I proved them wrong, so I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah. So that was a that was 17 when you're on Husky.
Yep. 17 when I was on Husky. Yeah, and I loved it. The team was great. Had a great teammate. Zach Osborne was a big mentor to me. Jason was a big mentor. Dean was really fun to be around, and yeah, I mean he's obviously a great rider, so I could learn a lot from him. And Michael Mosman, and it was just a good group. Yeah, that one really, though, I thought I deserved another ride with them, especially since they went with Michael and I was doing better than him. That one hurt. So I was really disappointed that like I couldn't be back with them, even though I thought I deserved it. But it's racing. It doesn't make sense a lot of the time. So when you think you deserve something and they just go in a completely different direction.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a tough business sometimes, man. It's a tough sport. I can't imagine how it pulls on the heartstrings of some of these team managers when they've got to let young blokes go.
Yeah, I know it hurt. I thought it hurt Bobby a bit. I don't know. Like he said, he fought hard for me, but I don't know how hard he did. I wasn't really in the room, so I hope he did. I know he's a good guy, so I think he did.
Yeah, cool, man. And then after that, man, I guess that sort of led to you to your going to Europe.
Yep. Yeah. So we Well, I went to Team Solitaire the next year for a little bit of Supercross, and Team Solitaire at that point is not what Team Solitaire is now. They're still just getting into it, and I think, and they kind of admitted they weren't ready for a rider at my level.
Yeah.
And so we kind of had to part ways, even though it was a fun team, but it's just some of the engine stuff at that time wasn't really working out. So I got an opportunity to go over to Race Europe with Bud Racing, and I mean, might as well go travel the world. We're having a rough time as it is. Let's go have some fun and see everything. And yeah, that was a fun period. Sometimes it was lonely. If I didn't have my wife with me, it was my girlfriend at that time. But where we were at in Source Ossigor, France, the south of France, it was beautiful. It was a tourist destination, and we were on the beach. And it was probably the best location I could have been at. Especially, it was very English friendly because most of France isn't.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. There's a lot of because there's a surfing community. There's a lot of English and Australian businesses. So it was kind of disappointing in a way because I wanted to learn French. And I know if I was in the heart of France, I would have to. But there I didn't have to. So I learned like very mediocre French. I couldn't have a conversation with anybody now. So but now my team currently now is French Canadian, so I'll have to try a bit harder.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, French Canadian. So what is your Canadian team? What are they your Canada team?
Yeah. Yep. They're French Canadian. They're from
so you're not talking the actual Canadian season, you're talking PRMX.
PRMX, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay. Yeah. They're French Canadian. Yep.
Yeah, so that's why we're doing the Canadian series this year because it's a Canadian team still, and they want to go up there and win a championship. I think I think a lot of teams up there don't really respect them in a way, so they want to like put it to them, and that's the same thing I want to do. I've wanted to win the championship for the past 2 years, and I probably should have, but just things didn't go my way, and so I want to go up there and I want to beat Dylan, the guy who has been killing everybody for the past 5 years. So I think if I can do that, that's a statement.
Yeah. Because you've won up there. You won up there once, haven't you? You've won a title in Canada once already.
No, well, they have the Triple Crown series where it involves AMA, and I won the Triple Crown overall. And yeah, that's a title. Like it earned me my number 8, but I think like the legitimate title that you want is the outdoor series.
The Triple Crown is a mixture of Supercross and Arena Cross, isn't it? Is that what it is?
Yep. Yeah, it's like a Supercross, Arena Cross, and outdoors.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, and it's cool. It was really fun. The Arena Crosses are really fun. They're really tight. It's good racing. They do a really good job over there. It makes the whole series like really fun to do.
Yeah. It looks like a good series out there. Like obviously we don't hear too much about. We hear all about the US, of course, but we don't hear much about what's going on in Canada.
Yeah.
I know take a bit more notice of it when there's an Aussie there, which there has been. Lots of times there's been Aussies go there and do fairly well. So.
Yep. Well, now my teammate's Aaron, so you guys will be paying attention a little bit more. So
is Aaron's going up to Canada as well, is he?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So me and him will be rivals and teammates.
Yeah. He's a bad dude outdoors, man. Like
he's
a bad dude outdoors and a good bloke. I don't know Aaron personally, but I'm certainly a fan of his, and I know enough and have seen enough of him to know that he's a really good guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a really funny guy. Me, him, and Hunter were, getting along great. We're having community dinners every night, and then me and Hunter got Aaron into the golfing. Got the golf bug on him.
Okay,
so he's like full into it right now. We got a big group chat for it. I know he just bought some irons, and like he's ready. He's ready to get the golfing game started. But Yeah, I mean, on a motorcycle, he's phenomenal.
Mm.
He every time I see him on a supercross track, which was unfortunately not too much this season,
Yeah.
he's ridden phenomenally. He made the only main that he attempted to do, so that's impressive.
Mm.
But yeah, he looks really good on a dirt bike. So he's going to be a big challenge, and he's already won a title, especially in Australia, which
Mm.
I believe is a really tough thing to do.
Yeah, yeah.
So he knows how to win.
Yeah,
So
I think
it's gonna be tough.
yeah, I think our pro motocross is probably it'd have to be like a top 4 or 5 series in the world as far as, how competitive it is,
Yeah. No,
Um
you
so
guys
yeah.
have very good riders over there.
Mm.
And like it was the same thing I think with Canada. It's
Mm.
like you have those 3 or 4 really good guys, and then unfortunately it does drop off. But those 3 or 4 really good guys in Australia or Canada can be, if they were to run their pace in Canada and the U.S., they could be top 5.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, sometimes the pressure gets to you, and it's a little tougher when you get to America.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they're fast, so it's good series.
Mm. Absolutely, man. I want to hear a little bit more about the season in Europe, man. It just seems
Yeah.
like super interesting. Um, what was your favorite country where you race, like culture wise and just really interesting and that sort of thing.
The most interesting culture was Indonesia. Uh,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, I don't know if it was my favorite, but it was certainly interesting because it's a third world country, and there was just so many mopeds everywhere, and so we got to rent some mopeds, and then you felt rich because everything was super cheap, and the culture was just so much different, and like I just loved it, and we got to go see like these monkey sanctuary. We got to stay in Bali in between the 2 rounds, and the tracks were so much fun. The second round we had was super slick, though. Every time you put water on it, it was like ice skating rink. But the first track was like a man-made track, and it was so much fun to ride. The dirt was like perfect, and I was amazed about how many fans came out. And they just loved being around it. And if you gave them anything, they were just so grateful. Like
Mm.
it was really really cool to see. Um, Favorite country, I would say Italy. Um, Culture wise, like I got to vacation a lot in Italy. Um, like we got to go to Rome, Venice, and then we raced a few times in Italy, and I just really like it there. I like the culture, I like the food. I'm a big Roman history nerd, so it's just really it's a really cool country to be, and that would have been cool to have been like stay there as well. Even though I did love France a lot, I'd say that's definitely second on my list.
Mm. How often when you're in Europe did your girlfriend, your now wife, how
Yeah.
often was she there? Like, did she get to stay there a fair bit or?
She got to stay there a fair bit. Like I would say I was there for about a year total. I think she was there for about 6 or 7 months total. Like so
Okay.
she stayed over there with me for months at a time. And yeah, like she got to. I made it a point on our off weekends we go somewhere because it's so easy to travel around that place. Like
Hmm.
you can take trains everywhere. I mean, flights are super cheap and super short. It's like half of America, and it's just uh, it was really cool to have her over there and to explore everything. And then my mom came over for a little bit too, so we got to see. So we went to Barcelona and we went to Amsterdam before the Vulcansward. Yeah, it was Vulcansward that I raced. Um, but yeah, like the tracks over there, especially when you go to the Netherlands, you understand why these guys are so good, and it's nothing. We have nothing that compares to what they train on over there.
Hmm.
It's so gnarly. Um, I remember this one track. I don't know what it's called, but I remember specifically there was a go kart track next to it, and then some of the faces um, had concrete because it got so rutted. And so it was a sandy, ruddy track, and I had no clue how to ride it. I could not figure it out. It was the hardest track I've ever ridden in my entire life, and I struggled so bad. I was like, I don't even know how to ride. Like, there's no way I can ride this right now. Like, I need a year to figure out this place. And it really sucked because you had like Jessiconis, Hurlings, everybody was there that day too. So I'm like, I feel like, I think I was like, I had to be like 10 seconds off the pace or something. It was so bad. And yeah, just all those tracks over there, they're so good at them, and they're just the gnarliest tracks you'll ever ride.
Yeah, because they, you know, from what you hear, that there's no prepping the track for practice or whatever. It's just, just you know, rough as guts. Yeah.
In the Netherlands, they prep the tracks, and because I think they have a lot more riders. But where we were in France, if we went riding the bud training facility, the tracks weren't prepped. They didn't get water, nothing. Like, I was definitely a privileged American before I came over there, and then I rode that, and now I come over here and I'm like, people complain. I'm like, this isn't even bad. You should see what I had to ride in Europe. Like, this is actually really good.
Yeah.
And it just makes you appreciate tracks more, and it definitely makes you a way better rider. I had to change my style up quite a bit, from like, you know, sit down and just elbows down American, to standing a lot, being super patient, rolling on the gas, like everywhere. It was a big wake up call for me to ride like that. Especially there's this one track in France, and it wasn't even a hard track to ride. It was very, very smooth. Like, there was nothing really going on with it. And Mitch Evans was there, and like, we would ride quite a bit because he was MX 101, and he was like, I want to say he was like 4-5 seconds faster than me on this stupid little easy track. And I was like, how is this possible? Like, it does not make sense how this is possible. And then like, I'd watch him, and like, I think Eric Sorby was there, and like, he was explaining to me like just watch his roll speed. And yeah, Mitch was just on throttle everywhere. And I was like, oh, I've never realized that before. And then I started doing that, and yeah, it was hard, but we figured it out. But it's just a wake up call on how those guys ride, and like how much more efficient they are than us.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, the whole roll speed thing seems to be a real key thing in recent times where people have improved. You know, it's obviously a real strength of Jets, and you know, and I think it's something that Kenny was super good at. You know, from way back when you know, and that sort of thing. The old the guys that like to do a bit of stop start, you know, while you know, that are pretty, you know, full noise stop start sort of guys are having to change a bit to keep up, and it is a bit of a European style, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, like obviously Kenny's really good at it. And Jet's just on another level with it. Sometimes it doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, he's an alien. Yep. He's an alien, is there? Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But like, one person who does it really good, well, phenomenally, is Jason Anderson. He does it really, really good. Maybe sometimes not to the extent that Jet does, but he's really fun to watch. He's one of the main people I like to watch.
Yeah, same, man.
I would love to ride like him. I'd love to be off the brakes like him. Like, that'd be ideal.
He's out there surfing.
He really is.
It's like he's surfing. Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah. He's probably, I mean, geez, I got lots of favorites, but yeah. There's different things. Like, I love how Eli rides too, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like how all of them ride for different reasons, I guess. Yeah.
I kind of got I had some good starts and mains, and I got the battle with Eli for the lap that I got to. And like the over revving and just how he rides the bike, I'm like, oh, that's how you're supposed to ride a bike.
Yeah, just the aggression, like it's just it's It's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty mental, especially on a supercross track. Outdoors, I get it all day long, just rev that thing out. But he's doing it on a supercross.
Yeah. It's yeah, good. I'm glad he's going around again. Well, the rumor is he's going around again. Yeah, it's, we'll miss him when he's gone.
Yeah, same here.
That's for sure. And then, so after Europe, man, back to the US, and was that when you got the fill in at PC?
Yeah. So that came about because of COVID, really. We were struggling coming back into Europe, so then PC kind of needed a guy, and I went and tried out for him. I got the spot, and then it was kind of just fell into place really well. I was very fortunate for that opportunity, but it was such a fun team to be a part of, especially when that was the team I wanted to be on from the get-go.
Yeah.
So it was just so much fun, and I was so excited to be on it, and I gave it my all, and I rode pretty well. I think I got quite a bit of top fives, a lot of top tens. Felt like I should have had a podium here or there. Just everybody was good that year. And Mitch was it was very thankful. You hear all these stories that how Mitch is. With me, he never was like that, even though I felt like I should be yelled at sometimes. And I always asked for advice from him, and he always tried to help me out, and it was just a really good relationship. I really enjoyed being on the team. I really wanted to be back on that team. But yeah, I was just a fill-in guy. I was just there for the year, and I was just really lucky to be on it. So it was a really fun year.
Yeah, who were you filling in for? I can't remember.
3 guys.
Oh, okay, yeah, poor old Mitch. Yeah, that sounds about right in recent times, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was me and Darian got the spot. I don't remember all who it was. I think it was only Cameron that was available. I think the rest of the guys were out, but I forget the entirety of everybody. Obviously, Faulkner was one because he's been on the team forever. But I forget who the other people were.
Yeah, I forget. There's been a bit of turnover there. So that was 2020. Yeah. Cool, man. And then to muck off. Then to an Aussie team for a while.
Yeah, that was. I was amazed how good that team was. Yuriv from the get-go. I feel like they were struggling a bit in the preseason getting the team going. I came over there and helped them with the semi a little bit, and I just thought they were struggling a little bit. But it was also kind of a weird COVID year again, so everything was kind of delayed. But yeah, that was 2 years from not riding Supercross. And I tested the bike out, and immediately, second lap, I hit everything, and I felt so at home with the bike. It was insane. And we got they also had factory KYB, which I think was very helpful for suspension, and it was it was probably one of the best bikes I've ridden in Supercross. It was so much fun to ride. I was having issues that year, though, kind of. I think I changed my diet up too much, and I didn't have a lot of energy all the time, which was really weird because I usually would be the strongest at the end of motos. So I had to get a nutrition, following years, I got a nutritionist and figured it all out. I cut way too much out. But yeah, I wish I had what my physical fitness I had in years prior for that bike. Cause for sure I would have podiumed a lot. Cause then there was one round in Texas, I led halfway and I just was feeling great. And then made one mistake and I kind of was riding defensive and I took 6. So I definitely choked that night, but I felt if I was more confident with my strength, like I could have for sure won that. And when you win a main event, that changes your life. So, yeah, so what could should have there. But I thought the bike was so much fun. The team was overall it was good. I think there was some communication things but it wasn't really with me. It was more, I think, with the mechanics.
Yeah.
But you've always had to go to Australia, so it makes it hard. But overall, I really liked the team. It was a lot of fun to be on.
Yeah, that it would have been super tough for Yariv at the time because Australia during COVID was just a shit show, like super locked down. And Yariv's from the same state as me, and our state was one of the most locked down places in the world over COVID. It was just like, it was ridiculous, man. Yeah. And you know, for him trying to you know, do anything, get in and out of the country, shipping anything, or you know, like anything like that would have just been a nightmare. Yeah, man. So
yeah, that's what he said. Like, I just kept asking how it was going. He's just like, this is awful. Like, people shouldn't live like this.
Yeah.
I felt so bad. Yeah. Like, it just looked miserable over there. And my dad's like really big in all the politics and whatnot, and he would show me what was going on over there, and it just looked like a mess.
It was bad, man. Like people were like, you know, even though the whole country was bad, our state was like the worst, and people were moving out of the state. People are still moving out of the state from the bitter taste of what happened during COVID, you know.
Yeah, and they should.
It was, you know, how there's a bit of a get out of California thing going on, you know, like our Victoria is our version of that. People are like, get out of Victoria, you know. Similar political situations and constraints on people, you know, that bit of a lack of freedom happening. So man,
I think your guys was so much. Obviously, your guys was so much worse because, like, I mean, I was in California during it, and like, yeah, you couldn't go into some places, but we could do whatever we wanted. Like, we could go outside, we can, you know, meet friends. They would say don't meet anybody, but like, screw them. Like, we have guns, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah. It was bad, man. Like, you know, there was the restrictions. There was like these don't leave your home things, and don't you know. You weren't even supposed to look. I broke a lot of rules because I don't agree with it. But you weren't even supposed to go for like a walk outside without a mask on your own, you know, all that sort of thing, you know. And it was crazy, and you know, like I resisted everything until I ended up one day there. Yeah, this is probably the height of it. So I have a small construction business, and one day I pulled up at the hardware store to get materials to go to a job, and I wasn't allowed. And I felt so bad for the guys at the hardware store because that wasn't their, you know, they sort of were doing what their that chain of stores said they had to do. But they wouldn't let me in without showing that I was vaccinated, and I wasn't vaccinated.
Yeah.
So then I was like, so I'm ringing customers like, sorry, I can't come and do your job. I can't work today because I can't buy anything. Yeah. So they forced us to get vaccinated. And like, honestly, I was on the fence and probably going to get it anyway because my mum was in a nursing home at the time. And you definitely weren't allowed into a nursing home without the vax. So I was going to probably get it anyway. But yeah, I was sort of resisting it, and then it was like, well, I'm going to go broke or I'm going to get the jabs. So I had to go and get it done, you know.
Yeah.
But,
it's
pretty crazy stuff.
It's very unfortunate that it came to that. and yeah, just wrong. Just on
it
so
is
many
wrong,
levels
man.
in humanity.
It is, man.
I wish they would, put these people in prison. But higher powers, we can't do much about it.
Yeah. I think that what we had was some very power hungry politicians that just loved that extra power.
They loved
like
it. They
they
loved it.
loved it. That's what they lived for. Was, oh, I've got some extra power now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they loved it, and they tried it here. But like I said, like we can, we kind of have a bit more freedom
You guys are a bit
with our
tougher like that.
situation. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are a bit tougher like that than the Aussies. One thing about Aussies is our very easygoing, relaxed nature, which is a positive for us most of the time.
Yeah.
When it comes to politics and that sort of thing, that same easygoing nature lets us get a little bit taken advantage of.
Yeah.
So it's a double-edged thing, It's a good, that relaxed Aussie thing is good sometimes, but then sometimes the population's just should not be as relaxed as they are,
Yeah.
So whereas
we got Texans, we got the South. We're not having any of this.
You guys stand up for yourselves a bit more, yeah.
Yeah, we
Absolutely.
try. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely more than us, dude. Time for an ad read. And I know that I know you're running a guts seat, man. So that's perfect. I love it when we've got a guts athlete on the show for a guts ad read, man. So RJ Hampshire, man. If you want to be a champion like RJ, you need a guts seat. Hey, that was what he was running when he won that championship. And if you want to buy a Rockstar Edition Husqvarna off the showroom floor, they're coming with a gut seat. So that speaks volumes at Husqvarna on their premium product, the Rockstar Edition. It's coming off the showroom floor with a gut seat. And so many teams using it. Obviously, PRMX using gut seat. Hep Suzuki, Club MX. Phil finished his Supercross career on a gut seat.
Yep.
Moto Concepts Honda, AEO KTM, Next Level KTM, Phoenix Honda, and countless privateers. As Scott Meshy said on the show, and I told him I'm keeping his catchphrase. He said that they are a butt gripper and they will make you a ripper.
That's a good one.
It's a good one, isn't it?
That's a really good one.
He came up with that on the spot. He came up with that on the spot. Yeah, that's Scott Meshy, yeah, man. And so gutsracing.com is a really easy one to remember. Gutsracing.com. And I'll show this again. I've showed this on a few shows. Try and get it so it's easy to see there. They come with that, which is QR codes. You scan on the right one for your particular product, and it takes you to a video of how to install that seat cover. That's pretty cool. Go. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Like
especially
I remember,
because they're hard to make. They're hard to put on.
Yeah. Like I mean, I've done plenty over the years. I've worked on bikes since I was 12 years old, but a lot of people, you might not have done it before, and that is a step-by-step thing. Tells you which bit to put on first. They're just really good. So that's good. And then another cool thing, if you got a Yamaha and it's got the tank cap, they come with that to match your seat cover.
Nice.
So a tank cap cover, because that tank cap gets all sort of worn out and crappy looking. Even quicker than the stock seat does. So it's cool to do that and get that whole sort of clean look going on your Yamaha. And so get around Guts Racing, gutsracing.com. Cool, man. Cool. Dude, so I whenever I got a guest coming on, always, I've followed you on socials for years anyway, but I jump on and have a bit of a look and just see if there's anything that I might have missed that you've been up to. And what I noticed was, dude, some really good music choices on your Instagram. dude. Like for someone your age, it was warming my heart. There was some old school, some pretty cool stuff there, man. Like who's choosing the music? Is that your taste or?
Yeah, I would say it's my taste. Got from my dad.
Nice. Good job, Dad. Good job, Dad.
I think the more like the metal and the punk stuff is like just from a variety of like people I hang out with. Maybe like when I went up to Canada, like Tyler Medallia, he's really into that stuff, so he kind of got me into it. I just cannot stand today's rap, and everybody uses it, and I can't lower myself to that level to use that. Like I just can't. I have on my TikToks because that's a different. I don't even my TikTok's like dumb.
Yeah.
And honestly, I want to delete it because it's just terrible.
Yeah, I don't have TikTok. I think I might have registered an account, but then not used it or whatever. So I might have an account, but I don't sort of get it. I'm too old for TikTok, I think. But yeah.
I don't like it. But yeah, I just think that sort of music is just so sick. And it just brings you back to the good old days of riding a dirt bike, and it just fits so well with dirt bikes. I don't know. I just wish more people would like it because, like, honestly, the sickest ones with the best music don't get as much views.
Yeah,
it's just they just like their dumb rap or whatever.
Yeah,
little dummy ooze people. I just can't stand it. Get it off. Let's go back to the metal, the rock, like just the good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, nice, man. What's your favorite? Do you have like a favorite album or just a favorite band?
My favorite band right now is The Story So Far. I'm going to actually see them in concert with A Day to Remember is the main band, Story So Far, and then 4 Years Strong. So I'm really pumped on that. Yeah, and I'm really big in the country too. Like I'll listen to that all day long. I love Chris Stapleton. I love Eric Church. But yeah, I just like, and then I'll put on some Dance Gavin Dance, just something pretty hard. And then I'll go back into a little bit of the old days with Black Sabbath, Metallica, and that's just like the music I like. I don't know. It's just I'll listen to rap here and there, but if I'm listening to rap, it's gonna be like Eminem, NWA, really old school. Like I won't go past really. I do like Kendrick Lamar a lot because he actually raps. If they rap, that's fine. But if you're just saying the same, get money, get women, I just can't do it. Go away. I could do that. I could.
Yeah.
Give me some beats. I could do that easy. So
yeah, I don't even know much. Yeah, my music taste, my whole like catalog and knowledge of music kind of almost just like stopped at a certain point, and I know nothing newer apart from the old bands that are still going, like the Foo Fighters. Like I know their new stuff because they're still going, things like that. But yeah, man, like I don't know, I struggle with all the real new stuff. But yeah, like I love rap, man, old rap, like Ice Cube. Cube's my favorite. And you know, I still think of like Biggie and Tupac as the newer guys, you know. So it's like, and and Eminem and that's sort of the newer stuff. Whereas you know, like Cube and NWA and all that sort of thing is that's sort of my real go-to. Cypress Hill, you know. Cool, man. Yeah, I think was there a couple of your reels that had Jimi Hendrix?
Yeah.
No, I think that's the one. I think that's what caught my attention was like
Jimi Hendrix like for real. His guitar solos.
Oh, he's the best.
Insane. And I'm starting to get into playing guitar.
Nice.
I'm not phenomenal at all. I'm mediocre at best.
But
I got myself an acoustic. I won an electric back in the 2017 Glen Helen GP. And I've always played on that, but I didn't know who I was doing. But yeah, now I'm like really into it, and I've been trying to play a lot, and like Yeah, it's actually incredible how much better I've gone in like the past, I don't know, like 5 months or so. But I'm getting into that, and I'm trying to play a lot more, and I want to get to that level.
Dude,
So
I'm jealous. I'm jealous, man. You can't have that many talents, man. That's not fair. Like I can't play guitar, and I'm a 48-year-old C grade rider, so, so I'm jealous of you about two things there.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
you know, we ride dirt bikes like it's ride dirt bikes and relax. So I don't like being on my phone. I don't like being on Xbox. I like to do stuff. So I want to learn how to play guitar. So I have plenty of time to do that because we
Yeah,
drive, we
yeah,
train, we go home. That's about it.
yeah, yeah. It's interesting nowadays, you know, the amount of rest that's sort of prescribed in training programs, isn't it? You know, it's
Yep.
like you guys need to rest and recover. Where it's
Yeah.
it's not like you listen to you know, I've listened to so many interviews and read so much about, you know, like Johnny O and Wardy and
Yeah. Yeah.
those sort of guys that was just like
Well, Johnny O
rest wasn't a thing,
especially.
man. It was just like they were just smashing out so many hours.
Well,
Yeah.
like Jeremy and Johnny O when they were training together, and they were just, you know, busting out like 440s a day, going through 5 gallons of gas, and then going on a 3 hour max like mountain bike ride every single day. It's just like, how could you do that?
Yeah.
Like, that's impressive.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know, like they got burnt out, but like still, just to do it, like you got to be a special person.
Yeah, yeah. I think some of those guys were just special people to be able to handle that. Like most guys just couldn't. You know, you're just gonna get burned out super quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing, man. Hey, you mentioned just before about the USGP, man. That you did really well there, didn't you? Yeah, like what did you podium that?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they had. I did three. I got I think 2 fifths in a podium at the Glen
Mm.
Helen, and that was really cool. Like to stand up there with Hurlings and Jeremy. Jeremy was actually surprised. His when I got up there, he's like, What are you doing?" I'm like, "I got third." He's like, "Sick," but yeah, that was really special to do something like that in the GPs is just incredible. That was definitely one of my highlights of my career.
Mm. Yeah, cool, man. Yeah. And that would have did that put you in the sights of Bud to get that gig in Europe, or
I'm sure
would have had to have?
maybe yeah.
They'd notice things like
Yeah,
that for sure. They were probably taking notes when they were there, you know. So
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I know that they mentioned it, but like I don't know. That was like it was 2 3 years prior. So I actually had like whatever the main Yamaha team at that time. They actually approached me. It's like, hey, do you want to come over to Europe? At that time in
Mm.
2016, I'm like, yeah, I'm an American. I don't want to go over there. So so yeah, I mean it'd been cool to ride for that team over there, but yeah, I don't know. It's I've been very fortunate in my career for the things that I've got to do and the things that I've accomplished. So yeah, sure, I've wanted more, but I make money at it, and I'm riding a dirt bike, so uh, you can't really get any better than that, right?
Yeah, man. Have you enjoyed the 450 so far this year?
So much, so much. I would love the 450. Everybody, especially my dad. My dad has always been like, "You're a 450 rider," and I've ridden 450s in the past where like and the star days when we would ride 450s, I was always the best. Um, and you know, I had my doubts with it, like anybody would, and I
Mm.
just yeah. I mean, I also, obviously I had a really big mishap in San Diego, but
Oh
since
yeah,
then,
I meant to ask you about that. I'm glad you mentioned it, dude. Like, what were the injuries from that? That was wicked, man. That's you're going to see that the rest of your life on highlight
yeah,
reels, man. That was
yeah.
wicked. Um,
Uh,
what did you
concussion,
injure? Concussion? Yeah.
busted chin, couple broken More like chip teeth. That's
so you
it.
actually like, did you crack a jaw, like you cracked your jaw, or
Nope, nope.
no? Just
I
busted it open.
busted chin. I had a little laceration inside my lip. Maybe I pulled something in my hip. I don't know. It still kind of bothers me. Really, that's it. Like,
yeah.
Like everybody says I was KO'd in the air. I probably was. I felt like I was never out, but maybe that relaxed me enough to like just let my body go limp.
True. Yeah.
But really, yeah, I thought I should have been way more injured than I was. Like a lot more injured.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was.
But
you might have got knocked out from. Yeah, did your face hit the bars?
My face hit the clutch lever.
All right. Oh yeah.
I was out. I was.
That might have knocked you out when you cased and did. Yeah.
Because in the air, if you look, like I'm pretty dead sailing.
Pretty ragdoll, yeah. But
yeah. But to be fair, I do that every time I crash. Like because I'm like whatever, accept my fate. But yeah, everybody gives me crap about it. Like, dude, you were so out. I'm like, I don't really remember being out, but probably it hurt.
Yeah, but you don't remember though, do you, man? But yeah.
Like I don't remember like being out. Like I remember the whole crash, and I remember laying there, and like it just. If I was out, I feel like I'd just be gone.
Yeah.
But anyways, I definitely got a concussion.
Dude, yeah. Hey, let's have a look. Oh, on the music, man. I wanted to ask just a new question. I come up with for the show. It's time for a few new questions. So if you could go, so on music, man, if you could go back in time to a concert from history. Where are you going? Who are you seeing?
Back in time, I think. Well, me and my dad recently went to Robbie, the Doors guitarist, Robbie
Krieger.
Robbie Krieger. We recently went to one of his concerts in the Whiskey a Go Go.
Oh, nice, man. That's geez, iconic, yeah.
In the 50s. So that was that, and then I started getting into the Doors a bit. I think that would be really cool to see like Jim Morrison in his prime, one of those. Or just a really early Metallica, like where they weren't on radio yet. Like I heard that was when they were just the best.
And yes, that's when they were the best. Yeah.
I think either one of those two. I don't think like it'd be cool to go to like you look at the 1999 Woodstock. Like that just looks like mayhem. Like no, thank you.
Yeah,
like it'd be cool, but like, can I observe it from the balloon and not down below?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think one of those just something like really cool that just a few people got to see.
Yeah. I was thinking about what my own answer would be, man, and I haven't come up with it exactly, but it would be a band in its earlier day. One of my favorite bands in their earlier days in a smaller venue. That would be what I'd want to do.
Yeah. Just something about a small venue, like not just a billion people. Like I don't really like people, so just a nice small venue. I really like those smaller venues. We went to after my bachelor party. We went to a Census Failed, just like small standing room only, and they had a little bit of a mosh pit, and that was the first time I was in a mosh pit, and it was so much fun. Like, and I just got trampled, man. And it was just a great time. I think just those standing room only concerts are some of the best. Yeah,
I like standing room. When I was younger, maybe, but I'm definitely not a mosh pit guy. But I love standing room. I'd something about being on the floor, standing room. Yeah, it is. It just doesn't feel right being in a seat.
Nope.
At a concert, does it? It's just weird. It's like sitting down, it's like, it doesn't feel right. But then you don't want to stand up because the people behind you can't see, and it's just it's all just sort of awkward, and just the experience isn't as good.
every time the 2 concerts that I had seats, we stood up the entire time. Metallica and I'm blanking on the other concert. But yeah, we stood up the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everyone's probably standing up. So yeah,
everybody's
at a Metallica concert, everyone's standing up. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I saw this one couple. They were sitting down there top down. I'm like, why are you guys even here?
Yeah.
Like, it didn't look like they really wanted to be here. They might have like a
got free tickets. They won the tickets or something. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it was the Offspring. Sorry, it was the Offspring.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just stood up the entire time, and yeah, you need to stand. You need to stand. You need to enjoy it, and just have a good night.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I get into it. I like to get it a bit of standing and doing a bit of air drumming. That's usually my that's usually my go-to.
You're air drumming, I'm air guitar.
Bit of an air drum. I can do both, man. But yeah, at a concert, I just tend to go towards the air drumming. I'm not sure why. Yeah.
Just the rhythm of it.
The go-to move. Yeah, I definitely can't dance, man. So I've got to do something. So it's the air drum.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, dancing is definitely something that is just not. They say, the old saying, "Oh, 2 left feet, man." I've got like fucking 3 left feet. I'm terrible, man. So, I'll waltz at a wedding. I'll waltz with my wife at a wedding or something like that, and that's about my extent. Like, I mean, when I'm drunk, I can jump around like an idiot and just do funny shit and try and make people laugh when I'm drunk. But as far as actually having any rhythm or anything like that, like less than 0. It's like I've got concrete boots, So,
I get yelled at every time I try to dance by my wife. She just gets embarrassed. I'm like, who cares? Like, I could give a crap what these people think about me. Like, let's have some fun. Yeah. Every time it's funny.
Yeah, well, I'll usually, if I'm drunk and I'm doing that, I'll be just doing it to try and look stupid and make people laugh for their entertainment,
Exactly.
So, rather than, but I was always jealous. I had some mates now they could just dance unreal, like back in the old days. You'd go into a nightclub for chicks and stuff, and I had some mates that were just awesome dancers.
Yeah,
and it's just like, you guys suck, I'd still try, but yeah. But that was I hate nightclubs. I hate all that sort of stuff, man. So
no, not a fan of that. All right, just go to a concert.
No, absolutely, man. Dude, what's a fun fact about you that people wouldn't know?
A fun fact about me that people wouldn't know. I feel like the guitar is a fun fact.
True, yeah.
Everybody knows I like to golf. A really fun fact that people would like to know.
What about you said earlier that you're Roman history? You're into the Roman history, man.
Yeah. And I dabble in it. Like it's just fun to learn. And I think a fun fact would just be like I like to read about history. I like the universe. My dad's really big into like astronomy and like just how the universe works. Like I think that's just a really interesting thing. Like I like to know about. But then I get really deep into it, and I'm just like, okay, well, everything's so little. I need to back out of it. So
yeah.
But yeah, I like history a lot. I think that's a fun fact about myself. And then I really like to hike. I just like to go on hours and hours of adventures. Like that's just fun to me.
I went on my first proper hike there just a couple of weeks ago, and it was really good fun, man. I'll be doing more of that. Where I live is it's super flat. Like there's no hike. It's just walk. It's just like flat. It's flat. But I went to some mountains and did some pretty cool hiking, and it's super good fun, man. Super good fun. Cool, man. I reckon I've just about taken up enough of your time. There's a couple of things, man, I do to close out the show. First one is, man, give me your best Aussie accent.
Well, here's the thing about my accents. They go straight Irish. So I can't say any bad words, I would say, on the show, because that would probably start out. Okay.
You can, man. Yeah, you can. You can swear, man.
Jeez. Okay. I'm just gonna go for it. Oi, mate, that's the kangaroo over there. You might as well go to the doggy and I don't know, get the kangaroo or something. It went really bad. I don't know where the doggy came from, but that's what popped up in my head first. It's about as bad as it gets. So
yeah, it was pretty rough, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I apologize for the entire Aussie community.
No, man, that's all right. It's good fun, man. It's funny when people don't do it good, but sometimes I get people that surprise me that then they're like, shit, like, you're actually pretty good, you know. So
no, I'm terrible with accents. I can't do it. Yeah, usually they go straight Irish, so I try to steer away from them.
Yeah. I don't even know if I'm good at accents, man. I know. Yeah, I don't think I'm good. It's not something I've ever really tried to do. But no, one of my American mates, he suggested that as part of the show, real early days, and it's been just a fun thing to do, man. And dude, then the last thing I do for the show, man, is there's a funny backstory that I won't bore you with, but my outro is I sing a little bit of Kenny Rogers, man. And I always say to people, if you know the words to Kenny Rogers, the Gambler, then you're more than welcome to join in. But
I don't think I know Kenny Rogers.
There's certainly no pressure, man. So I'll slide into that to close out the show, man. So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette and asked me for a light. And the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, if you're going to play the game, boy, you got to learn to play it right. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em,
know when to fold 'em,
know when to walk away,
know when to run. You better count.
You never count your money
when you're sitting at the table.
There'll be time enough for counting.
That's about, I don't know the rest.
When the dealing's done. Good stuff, man. You got into a little bit of it there. I love when people join in. That's the go.
Yeah, I know a little bit. I don't think I listen to them enough.
Yeah. That's it's always been a favorite of mine. Yeah. Dude, good luck. Good luck for the rest of the year. Good luck in Canada. Go get them up there. And thank you very much for your time today.
All right. Nope. Thank you, guy.
Thanks, man. Cheers.
Yes, sir. See ya.
See ya.